I flew out of Los Angeles to Bangkok and returned there to visit my sister who lives in Irvine. Philomena and Andy flew out to meet me the next day. One of our rituals when we visit is to stop at this park about 10 minutes away from Susan's house on the edge of the Pacific Ocean. We love visiting this beach because of the tide pools. We always want to see how many hermit crabs are there in their adopted homes. We stayed a week, and at the end of that time, I was off to visit my first growing congregation in Golden, Colorado. Golden is on the edge of the takeoff for the Rocky Mountains. To the east, it is flat, but to the west, the mesa rises up. It is also the home of Coors beer. The congregation I visited was Jefferson Unitarian Church. They have grown to over 700 members in the past 15 years. One of the important things I learned there was no one factor dominated their growth. Many different initiatives combined to strengthen them. Recently, they have done a building expansion too, building this new chapel space and an RE wing, and renovating an old RE space into offices with this receptionist station in the middle. I arrived Friday night to allow me to attend their Path to Membership class that was held in the chapel. 26 people joined at the end of the class. Here is their main sanctuary space that seats about 250, I think. As you exit the sanctuary, you walk through this lobby area and can go to the social hall. In the social hall, you turn to the wall and you'll see photos of the new members put up immediately for all to see. I liked how copies of the previous sermons are made available in this attractive rack. I also liked how they have a mobile name tag rack and a special place for visitor name tags, which are a different color. When you join, you get a regular name tag with a ribbon you can remove at your discretion. The walls of this congregation are very carefully organized. I felt we needed to copy their sign-up bulletin board. All the sign-ups for everything are in one place. Wouldn't this be an improvement for FUSA? Finally, it is the details that make visits interesting. How about this toilet seat in the RE wing that works for children and also adults? My next stop was the Mid-Sized Church Conference in Phoenix, Arizona. I thought this would be a wonderful opportunity to do a little sightseeing. So please, enjoy a few moments in the mountains with me now. I stopped in Santa Fe, New Mexico to look around downtown and peek in a few shops. I visited the San Miguel Chapel, the oldest church in the United States, built in 1610 by a group of Tlaxcalas from Mexico accompanying the Spaniards. I found this cross quite interesting. Not many have Native American imagery to adorn them like this feather. My primary reason to be in Santa Fe was to have breakfast with my Sufi spiritual friend, Marian Sharin. We sat and talked for 2.5 insightful hours as she encouraged and challenged me. On my way to Arizona, I stopped in Albuquerque on a whim to visit the UU congregation there. One of the ministers, David Grimm, gave me a tour of their facilities. Their sanctuary has a cement wall on one side that is constructed of squares of wood from all over the state, painted in different images. Like many congregations, they also have an art wall. My last sightseeing stop before Phoenix was Sedona. The deep ravines and trees growing out of the rocks make for some spectacular scenery. The road into the valley winds down the cliffs. I stopped for a visit to Slide Rock Park. The park was formerly an apple orchard. They have maintained some of the trees and some of the old buildings, but there isn't much space to grow anything between the sides of the canyon. This stream flows through the park, and I took time to explore it. The water level is very low, and the region had been suffering through a drought. Sedona is known for its red sandstone. The one event I attended outside of the mid-sized church conference in Phoenix was the Indian art show at the Heard Museum. The colorful costumes of the native dancers made for some interesting pictures.